Hey, Janet.
Yeah.
So, a couple of things. As a creative director, obviously, I'm one too. I know that one of the major parts of your responsibilities, despite the fact that we might not like to hear it, is that we're closers, right? We go into our clients and we close them on great creative ideas and get them to buy in and feel part of that. One of the things that was interesting about your discussion was that you didn't bring up Onslaught, which was the follow-up to Evolution. Which was a beautiful communication as well, but it was sort of a fissure that created a bit of a backlash against the larger brand being Unilever, who a lot of people believe with their Axe brand and with NutriFast are responsible for some of the perceptions of beauty in the broader marketplace. So I want to know how, I also know that Lenny Kravitz said you have 21 years to write your first album. 6 months to write your second. And so you had to come up with that rather quickly and try to take advantage of this sort of this burgeoning community that was, or maybe this is just
No, actually, that's a
Okay.
Sorry, what? Tell me.
So the question was ultimately,
question?
so how did you manage what happened as a result of Onslaught?
Okay.
I mean, the Greenpeace video has more views in total than the video that was produced for Onslaught. How did you manage that with the client? How did you get the client over that? Was it 5 steps forward and 4 steps back?
No, absolutely not. Actually, it was a really interesting time. I didn't bring Onslaught just because I only had a very short amount of time, and I figured everybody in the world had seen Evolution, so I didn't have to talk about it that much. But Onslaught was actually created at the same time as Evolution. There were 5 Dove films. There have been 5 Dove films, and if you go on the web, you can see them all. Onslaught, for people who haven't seen it, ran a year later than Evolution, and it's a lot tougher of a film, and what it does is it collapses like a year of beauty pressure that girls face into 1 minute, and it's bookended with this just kind of slightly stern-looking, incredibly innocent little kid who's like 7 years old, and it begs the question, what the hell are we doing to our kids? And what it said at the end was, talk to your daughters before the beauty industry does, which created a certain amount of brouhaha. And a lot of people wrote in and said, oh, you're such a hypocrite because Unilever owns Axe, which is all about bikini babes and whatnot. And so I think that there are 2 things to be said. One is Dove, you need to do what's right for your brand. It's as simple as that. And, I mean, in the end, 4 companies own the world, and 4 holding companies own all the ad agencies, and everything is consolidating to a point that you can't make the distinctions. I don't have anything to do with Axe. And Ogilvy doesn't work on it. I have to do what's best for Dove, and the people who work on Dove have to do what's best for Dove, and they don't have anything to do with Axe. And in fact, Dove was actually run almost as a separate company within Unilever. It wasn't run like a brand. So in the end, we're marketers, and we're in marketing, and we have to do what is appropriate for our brands. And if people take issue, people are going to take. If you're a tall poppy, somebody will cut you down. And I think that the sad thing about it was, some people would rather that you didn't do good because somewhere else you are perceived not to be doing good. In fact, what happened with the Greenpeace thing was that Unilever sat down. Unilever's just one of the palm oil companies, and they're in the process of making some changes, but they had also made changes before that. So I think Greenpeace, while it does a lot of good, also takes advantage when it sees things. It wasn't an entirely justifiable response. So it was, let's say there are 2 sides to that story, and it was not. In the end, it actually wasn't that big of a deal because people defended Dove. We didn't have to defend Dove. The online community defended Dove.
Thank you, Janet. Mayo? Thank you, Janet, for that fantastic presentation. Are you sticking around for a bit?
Very small bit.
Okay, if you want to ask some more questions, Janet will be around here or upstairs, I hope. And a round of applause, thank you.
Thank you.